legends.
Right?
What do you think about just like you carry? How much pride do you?
We're up 3. He beat BSD. I beat Fazeev, and I just beat Paddy. We're up 3 right now. Taporia took out Max, so we might be 3-1. But I'm going to try to avenge that one.
Is Conor going to come back? Is John going to fight Pereira? What Dana is kind of, is not uncertain about. But I believe with performance like this man has delivered each and every time, I believe Justin and Ilya potentially becomes the headliner for that card.
You're 100% right. And you're 100% right, and it should be. It should be. It should be. If you want to talk about being fair competitively, especially in the performance that he puts, like, why wouldn't you? Right. In the perfect picture, you would want Justin to fight Ilya.
At the White House as an American. Will that happen now? Fuck.
Ilya is laughing now because they have dirty boxing, really, They just fighting hard, but there is no good technique. But Ilya will be left now because Ilya has such a high level boxing. So
Justin Gaethje's interim title victory immediately shook up the division, and at the same time, it clearly revealed who stands next in line. Ilia Topuria has moved forward, and now both fighters are openly calling for the same showdown. When two of the most dangerous competitors in the sport are publicly demanding to fight each other, it goes far beyond simple hype. It becomes a clear signal that something major is forming within the division.
But I believe with performance like this man has delivered each and every time, I believe Justin and Ilya potentially becomes the headliner for that card.
You're 100% right. And you're 100% right, and it should be. It should be. It should be. If you want to talk about, being fair.
Justin made it clear that his focus is already locked onto something much bigger. He explained that being part of that lineup means more to him right now than anything else. He referenced a White House event scheduled for June, emphasizing that he has already fulfilled his responsibility to his country inside the cage. In his view, opportunities like this come around very rarely, and nothing short of a serious obstacle would stop him from taking full advantage of it. He sounded completely confident.
Still flowing a little bit, but do you have an update on physically, how you feel? Are you going to need some time off? Is there possibly anything broken after?
I definitely need some time off. He fucking rocked my brain a couple times, and the only thing we have over the more dangerous sports, which is boxing and football, is we get to take time, and so I will do that. But the White House is in June, and I represent this country. I represented it tonight, and I hope to be obviously. Look at the position and the opportunity they just gave me here. There's no way they're keeping me off that card unless I'm dead.
When the possibility of a White House matchup against Ilya was brought up, Justin stayed true to his personality and didn't exaggerate the situation. Still, he acknowledged just how massive the fight could be, especially given the buzz surrounding it. Justin believes it would rank among the biggest fights the UFC could put together, particularly in that type of setting. With Ilya's rapid rise, his dominant finishes, and the way their styles collide, Justin feels ready to take control of the moment if the opportunity becomes official.
How popular Ilya's become and just the method of victory he's had and your style of fighting, and add those two to the White House. How big do you think that fight could be between you two?
If I had any bit of a personality, it'd be fucking huge. But I just can't. I can't lie. I can't exaggerate. It's what I do. It's who I am. It's who my parents taught me to be. But, there's no doubt it would be the best, one of the best fights that they could definitely put on. It'll be for an undisputed belt. And I think they want to have 6 or 7, whatever. They want to have as many as possible. So if he's not back by then, they will strip him, and I will be undisputed, and then I'll fight for the belt on there.
On the other side, Ilya first directed his attention toward Paddy, taking shots at him by mocking his performance against an older opponent and suggesting the win came easily. After briefly acknowledging the victory, Ilya quickly followed up with a serious warning. In his view, no matter what happens next, Justin is heading directly into dangerous territory.
Past an aging opponent and claiming he threw away.
The road ahead won't be easy, but Justin remains steady and confident. He explained that the most important thing is trusting his preparation, his coaches, and his own abilities. He knows he is where he is for a reason. While he hopes destiny leads him to victory, he admits that the final outcome is not something he can control. In the end, only time will provide the answer. When asked if he had any message for champion Ilia Topuria, Justin Gaethje responded honestly and without hesitation. He brushed aside the hype, the trash talk, and the outside noise, saying he isn't concerned with sending personal messages. Instead, Gaethje puts complete trust in his coaching team. He allows them to study Topuria, break down his tendencies, build the right game plan, and drill it into every training session. For Justin, everything comes down to preparation, precision, and execution. Once he enters the octagon, the work and strategy of his team will speak louder than words ever could.
You are the first two-time interim champion in UFC history. You don't usually get too many second chances, but here you go to a unifier with an undefeated top 3 pound-for-pound fighter. I know he is not Khabib, but what are you taking into this fight with Ilia in terms of lessons and why you're going to make it work this time?
Just got to trust the preparation, trust in my coaches and trust in my skills. I'm here for a reason. I hope it's my destiny, but I don't get to write that, so.
Motivation was never in question. Even after countless battles, Justin was still driven by the ultimate goal, a championship. With a title on the line, this victory meant far more than just another win. To him, it represented the payoff for all the effort he has poured into his UFC career. Much like Ilia, Justin stated that this moment could be the perfect way to write the final chapter of his journey.
No, I don't give a
The
fuck.
message will be in the octagon.
I won't give him the time of day. I'll, rely on my coach to watch him a lot. I've seen him fight, obviously. Go back and watch these guys. I really rely on my coach. I watched Paddy today. And yeah, this is so fast. I have no idea what the fuck's going on right now.
Well,
There was never a question of motivation, even after
Many voices have weighed in on this potential matchup, and Dana White believes it would turn into a pure striking war. Both Justin Gaethje and Ilia Topuria possess tremendous power. If Gaethje comes in fully prepared, White expects fireworks from start to finish. He predicts explosive exchanges, with each fighter capable of ending the fight with a single shot. Fans should expect non-stop action, elite-level skill, and a matchup strong enough to headline any card and dominate the conversation.
Neck and neck, it was either going to be you, Paddy, or Armin fighting Ilia. Then obviously the news, Ilia wasn't going to fight early this year. At any point, was it frustrating or just difficult to get that motivation? Because it kind of felt like you were right there, and now you have to win one more after already going through all the battles. Was that ever difficult to have to get up for one more challenge before that opportunity?
No. I mean, I wanted it to be for a championship. This makes me a champion on paper with the UFC, so I'm very proud of what I accomplished tonight. I'm proud of the opportunity that it's gained me to fight a guy like Ilia. And this is everything I've ever wanted. This chance to write the end of my last chapter.
Congrats.
It's going to be.
Demetrius Johnson also sees Gaethje versus Ilia Topuria as the ideal fight to make next. He's uncertain whether Justin has any interest in defending an interim title, as his attention appears fixed on the undisputed championship. Looking ahead, Johnson describes Topuria as a disciplined and intelligent fighter with devastating knockout power. He points to wins over Charles Oliveira and Max Holloway as clear proof. Johnson expects Ilia to stay calm, keep a tight guard, and carefully read the fight as it unfolds, creating a fast-paced and high-level contest.
And now that it seems that it's going to be Gaethje versus Topuria, it's probably going to be a crazy fight also, most likely striking. How do you see this one going?
Yeah, I agree. It's going to be interesting. I think that Ilia hits like a truck, and so does Gaethje. And I think if Gaethje prepares properly and gets.
As for Arman Tsarukyan, Johnson feels he is largely being guided by the UFC's direction. In a perfect scenario, Tsarukyan would face Gaethje next. However, since Justin is likely waiting for an undisputed title opportunity against Topuria, that matchup may be delayed. In the meantime, Tsarukyan will continue building his name and handling what's placed in front of him. Johnson hopes that one day Tsarukyan and Gaethje meet, so the winner can then earn a shot at Topuria. That's how it should be done.
Ilia Topuria or he's going to fight Armor Sarukian. And I think the right thing is for him to fight Ilia Topuria. But if Ilia Topuria is not ready, I'm not sure if Justin Gaethje. I think he really wants that undisputed. And hopefully we get Ilia Topuria. Now, when I look forward to Ilia Topuria versus Justin Gaethje, I think Ilia Topuria is just way too disciplined on the feet. I think he has the knockout power. You look what he's done against Charles Oliveira. You look what he's done against Max Holloway. Ilia Topuria is very strategic, disciplined, where he's going to have his hands up. He's going to pot. He's going to get a look at what's going on. I just feel like he's a way cleaner boxer, and he puts his combinations together 1, 2, 3, nothing overzealous. But a fight's a fight.
Kamaru Usman and Henry Cejudo both agree that given the level of performances Justin consistently delivers, a fight between him and Ilia could easily headline a UFC event. They emphasized that both fighters bring elite skill, power, and excitement inside the cage. From a competitive perspective, they believe this is exactly the kind of matchup that deserves the main event spotlight.
How does Arman fit into this? I think Arman is at the beck and call of the UFC, meaning that the UFC dictates what's going to be next for Armor Sarukian. I think Justin Gaethje might hang on to the undisputed. He might wait for the undisputed opportunity to fight Ilia Topuria. That happens, you're going to have Armor Sarukian keep going on these wild side quests by doing more media and also doing more grappling, which is fine. I wish he would get the opportunity to fight Justin Gaethje, and then those guys can decide between Justin Gaethje and Armor Sarukian if whoever wins can fight.
Addressing the challenge, Cejudo describes Topuria as a highly skilled close-range fighter with strong defense and solid fundamentals. Unlike mistakes Gaethje was able to exploit against Pimblett, Topuria offers far fewer openings. Cejudo stresses that Gaethje will need to adjust his approach significantly, as he will be facing an opponent who combines defensive awareness with sharp offense, making the fight far more complex and demanding.
I believe with performance like this man has delivered each and every time, I believe Justin and Ilia potentially becomes the headliner for that card.
You're 100% right. And you're 100% right, and it should be. You know, it should be. It should be. If you want to talk about, you know, being fair, competitive.
While Justin's performance against Paddy was impressive,
it was also noted that Justin executed his previous game plan perfectly, with major credit going to his coaching team, Trevor Whitman, Ben, George, and Luke, for crafting the ideal strategy. Usman explains that Justin doesn't fight the same way every time. Instead, he adapts based on his opponent's strengths and weaknesses. Looking ahead, Usman points out that facing Ilia Topuria presents a completely different challenge. Topuria brings a unique mix of discipline, skill, and danger that will push Justin to his absolute limit. Gaethje accomplished what he set out to do, but now it's time to recognize the role of his coaches, Trevor Whitman, Ben, and George, in what comes next.
Performance that he puts, like, why wouldn't you? You know, in the perfect picture, you would want Justin to fight Ilia.
At the White House as an American. Now, will that unfold? Damn. There's but as much as we're kind of sugarcoating and lauding. Just
Ilia is different.
It is distinct. And there is
Paddy Pimblett, you can see, one, his head was up, and then two, defensively, Paddy would do this, like some amateur shit. Bro.
It's plus I'm so to be clapped.
We all do that.
And I'm surprised. And Justin was, and he did hit him. But you could tell Justin was going to the body because he was going over like that overhand that he did nail him, but
these are things that when Justin fights, it'll be unique. He's gonna fight a
opponent, somebody compact, and somebody that could really keep his freaking hands up, that just understands the finesse of fighting.
Adjustments will be made, but as mentioned, Ilia is a different kind of opponent, making the matchup especially intriguing. Daniel Cormier praised both fighters for giving everything inside the cage. He highlighted how Justin Gaethje applied relentless pressure on Paddy Pimblett, nearly stopping him multiple times, which ultimately secured the interim title. At the same time, Cormier pointed to Ilia Topuria's dangerous history, finishing elite names like Max Holloway, Alexander Volkanovski, and Charles Oliveira across divisions. He added that Gaethje once again proved that underestimating him is always a mistake, as things tend to fall into place when opponents do.
all on the octagon floor. I thought Justin Gaethje was going to get Paddy Pimblett out of there on multiple occasions, but Paddy would not quit. Paddy Pimblett kept fighting, but I think the pressure that Justin put on him early gave him enough of a lead to become the interim champion. But Ilia Topuria is knocking out the best fighters that we've ever seen in the divisions that he's competing in. Knocked out Max Holloway and Alexander Volkanovski while he was at featherweight, then goes to 155 and knocks out Charles Oliveira. But Justin Gaethje reminded us tonight that when you overlook him, things have a habit of working out in Justin Gaethje's way.
Robert Whittaker isn't ready to count Justin Gaethje out, but he fully recognizes the challenge ahead. Ilia Topuria's striking is on a different level compared to most of the UFC roster, and his wrestling and jiu-jitsu are just as sharp. With perfect timing and punishing countershots, Topuria makes every mistake costly. Gaethje's team will need to make serious adjustments to remain competitive. The version of Justin who fought Paddy Pimblett won't be enough, but Whittaker believes we'll see a more polished and evolved Gaethje when he steps in against a superior opponent.